I have to move over. Because I'll be blocking the item. Still might be. Actually, no, I should be okay on the corner. Seen this so many times. Non-speedrun, probably the game I played through the most.
The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago was attacked and captured by next-generation special forces, being led by members of Foxhound. They're demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss, and they say that if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
There he is.
You'll have two mission objectives. First, you're
David Hayter.
DARPA
I've got to
Chief
meet him too. He's really cool in person. Comic Cons for the win.
Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike and stop them if they do.
What's the insertion method?
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on,
I'll have to look to see if I can make it. Good God, Smog.
High-tech Special Forces Unit Foxhound. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation, and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake?
The man with the same codename as you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
It really was.
This is a one-man
Yeah, I'm not sure how they do that.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes.
Or changing the controller.
Top secret Black Op. Don't expect any official support.
It is actually possible to beat him in the first slot. It is extremely difficult. It is possible. I've done it. Boy, that was extremely frustrating, but man, it felt so good. Man, seeing the screen brings back memories. Like in my cabinet that I have next to the stream, I have a shelf that has some Metal Gear stuff, which I will be adding to it. Metal Gear Solid. Hell, that looks familiar, doesn't it? That? One of my friends got this when I moved. I need to put batteries in it. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit. It's the start of the game. Solid Snake. It has a light, but I don't have it, you know. And then it's hard with the green screen, but it's MGS 2. It's Snake trying to peek at a guard walking away. Metal Gear is my series. So many little things to enjoy. Like, it's the attention to detail by Kojima was so great in these games. The unexpected, the expected. Alright. Before I do anything. Screen. No. I don't know what the ratio is though. Because it'd be kind of nice not to have that on the side, but it is what it is. But before we go into the game, always start with the briefing. It's been a while. I didn't even know about this the first time I played the game either.
It's been a long time, Snake.
I should have known you were behind this, Colonel.
That's no way to greet an old war buddy, Snake.
What do you want from me?
I just invited you here so we could have a talk.
Invited? That's what you call sending armed soldiers after me?
Sorry if they were a little rough with you. But we've got a serious situation here. Only you can get us out of it.
I'm retired from Foxhound. You're not my commander anymore, and I don't have to take orders from you or anyone else.
You will take these orders. I know it.
Excuse me.
Who's this?
Dr. Naomi Hunter. She's chief of Foxhound's medical staff, and an expert in gene therapy.
Are you military?
No, civilian. I've been sent here from ATGC. Pleasure to meet you, Snake. Don't worry, this injection won't hurt a bit.
What's the shot for?
What's wrong? You don't like shots?
Snake, listen up. It all went down 5 hours ago.
Little did he know.
Heavily armed soldiers occupied Shadow Moses Island, a remote island off the coast of Alaska.
What soldiers?
Next generation special forces, led by members of Unit Foxhound. They've presented Washington with a single demand, and they say that if it isn't met, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
A nuclear weapon?
I'm afraid so. You see, the island is the site of a secret nuclear weapons disposal facility.
Foxhound hijacking a nuclear weapon?
Now you understand how serious the situation is. You'll have 2 mission objectives. First, you're to rescue the DARPA Chief, Donald Anderson, and the President of Arms Tech, Kenneth Baker. They're both being held as hostages.
Those are some heavy-duty hostages.
Doubt they are.
Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to launch a nuclear strike, and stop them if they do. Any questions, Snake?
Questions? I haven't even said whether I'd accept this mission.
Well, you can make up your mind after you hear more about the situation.
To the next briefing tape. And it's so crazy just thinking about it. Before I go into the next video, I usually tell this story every time I play Metal Gear. When I was growing up, you had the official PlayStation magazine. Because back then you had Game Pro and EGM, Game Informer later on, but you had all those game books, and I used to always like buying them. I didn't have any money. My parents were the one that had the money. I always like getting those books. Because one, you get to find out about new games that are coming out, reviews, previews, and then codes and stuff for games that exist now, that currently, so that I might be able to go back into games and do some other stuff, or I could get past something I was stuck in with the, little walkthrough sections that they had. But the official PlayStation magazine had demo discs, and that is how I first came across Metal Gear Solid. There, I believe, earlier in that year, they had a big preview of this game, and I thought it was cool, but I really didn't think anything of it until I played the demo disc and played this, and it was the very beginning of the game up until you found the DARPA Chief, and I played that more than I played any other game. At the time, I lived in Germany, and my parents looked all over military bases for that game. No one had it in stock, and the only place that had it was like a 2.5-hour drive. And my parents drove to get that game for me for Christmas. Like, literally the only thing I put on my Christmas list that year was Metal Gear Solid. I'm like, I don't even want anything else. Just give me Metal Gear and I am content. So Christmas comes, I open my stuff. I got some other games. I was pretty happy. Didn't get the game. Wasn't upset or anything about it. My dad's like, well, it's really hard to find because no one has it in stock. And then my dad's like, oh yeah, there's one other thing that I forgot. I think there's one more gift in the room. So he goes out and gets it, and it's not in a CD. Like, if you remember the Metal Gear case or the PS1 cases for games, if it was multi-disc, it was like a multi-tiered CD case. But he put it in a shoebox. So I opened the shoebox, or I open it, and then it's like a shoebox. But then it's like you have to open up the shoebox. Inside, it was like inside the paper was the game. And I didn't play it the whole day. I played every other game I got, like trying out the other games. For Christmas, one of my friends came over. We were playing some stuff. I didn't play Metal Gear. And at the end of the day, my dad came to me and was like, you know, your mom is pissed with you. I'm like, for what? And then he told me what they had to do and go through to get that game. It's like, we have been driving, calling military, the power zone is what they called the electronics store, all over Germany, trying to find you this game. And we finally did. It was snowing, and I took time off work. Your mom took time off work for us to go get you this game. They had it in stock, and we had them hold it. Drove up there to get it, and you haven't even played it yet. And I'm like, oh, like, well, I was just waiting for everybody to go to sleep, because once everyone goes to sleep, now I play because there's no distractions. I don't want to be distracted while I play. My dad just laughed. When they woke up in the morning, I was still playing. How long did it take to put together a chair? I wouldn't even say 15 minutes. It's weird because it didn't come with an instruction manual. It came with a link to go to a video online that tells you how to do it. I always thought that was kind of odd, but I'm like, hey, I guess it saves paper.
Tell me about the nuclear weapon disposal facility.
The disposal facility includes a hardened underground base. Even with our most advanced intelligence gathering equipment, we can't tell what's happening inside.
So someone needs to penetrate, gather intelligence, and report back.
Penetrate.
Sounds like a spy movie. What's the insertion method?
Well, an air insertion is impossible.
Not with this storm going on.
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
Approach?
Yes, within a few miles of it. The facility is equipped with sonar detection capabilities. They'd be able to hear our engine or propeller noise.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV.
Launch?
Same as a torpedo, only this has no propulsion device of its own. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim.
You want me to swim in sub-zero Alaskan water?
Don't worry. That suit represents the latest advances in polythermal technology. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes. This is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
Oh, poor Snake.
What's the time limit?
24 hours. They say they'll launch after 24 hours.
I actually haven't got it.
Do they say what the target will be?
So far, they haven't mentioned the
I
target.
should, but I
When
haven't.
did the countdown start?
5 hours ago.
You could have just added that. I always thought that was weird. Like, this is such a short video. You could have added that to the, the outline. I did not get it. I wanted to at a point, but then I knew I would never get around to playing it, so I didn't get it. And it's not, I don't even think I have it on my backlog. I don't understand why we just don't get all three. That's what everyone's waiting for. And 4, of course, but we'll never get 4 at this rate. What do we get first, Silk Song or Metroid Prime 4?
Naturally, I'm representing the U.S. government.
So who's in supervisory control of this operation?
The President of the United States.
Which means that the president must be meeting with his top aides in the map room about now, huh?
No, at this point they're still video conferencing with each other.
If that's a real nuclear warhead, shouldn't they issue a COG?
Not yet. The Secretary of Defense has operational control and is fully aware of the situation. After you infiltrate, if you determine they possess nuclear launch capabilities, a COG will be issued.
Well, if they haven't relocated to the nuclear shelter under Mount Washington, I suppose there isn't that much reason to worry yet. Is the National Security Agency in on this?
Yes. So is the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency.
The DIA? I'm starting to get a bad feeling about this.
They'll be sending us some support.
We don't need desk jockeys. We need a nuclear weapons specialist.
Of course. A nuclear weapons specialist has already been assigned to us.
One thing I've always wanted, speaking of that, Natasha, one thing I've always wanted, if anyone has played Metal Gear Solid 2, they have books that are options. And one book is like kind of a short, I want to say like a short recap of MGS, but the second book is Natasha's viewpoint of what went down in this game. And I've always wanted to get a paperback form of that book. On one hard drive somewhere, I have the PDF file of the entire book, but I would like an actual copy of that book. If I did, I'd probably buy 2 copies, one to actually go through and read from time to time, and another one to stay sealed forever.
We need backup from a specialist. I'm just an amateur when it comes to nuclear weapons.
I know. That's why I've requested the assistance of a military analyst named Nastasha Romanenko. She'll be providing you backup by Kodak.
A female analyst?
She's built up an impressive record as an advisor for the Nuclear Emergency Search Team. Contact her if you have any questions. She's also an expert on high-tech weapons.
Where's she working from?
At her home in Los Angeles.
California. Seems like a million miles away.
Mm-hmm. All right. Mr. Campbell, Naomi, and then we start to get into the nitty-gritty.
Why are you involved in this?
Because there aren't many people who know Foxhound as well as I do.
Is that really the only reason?
I've been soldiering for a long time. I don't know anything else. I guess even though I'm getting a little old, I still love to be in the field.
Colonel, you're a lousy liar. Tell me the real reason.
Okay, Snake. Sorry. I'll be frank. A person very dear to me is being held hostage.
Who is it?
My niece, Meryl.
What was your niece doing here?
Several soldiers were reported missing the day of the revolt. And my niece was one of those called in as an emergency replacement.
She looks like you.
She's my little brother's girl. He died in the Gulf War, and since then I've been watching after her.
A personal motive, Colonel. That's not very soldierly.
I'm retired. I'm just an old man now. And I'm your friend.
Receive psychotherapy not to be attracted to those of the opposite sex.
Since the fall of Zanzibar.
With my personality, I don't have too many friends.
That's what I trust about you. It's what makes you human. Please, Snake. Save my niece, Meryl.
All right. But I have 2 conditions.
Name them.
1, no more secrets between us. I want complete disclosure at all times. And 2, I'll only accept orders directly from you, Colonel. No cutoffs involved, okay?
Agreed. That's why I was called. But one thing.
What?
I'm not a colonel anymore. Just a retired old warhorse.
I understand, Colonel.
Alright. Dr. Naomi. Then we start to talk about some other stuff. The fun stuff.
That doctor, Is she part of this operation too?
She was in charge of Foxhound's gene therapy. She knows more about those men than anyone else.
You mean you've seen them naked?
That is hammered into left. Oh my God. That ball is absolutely murdered. Crushed by Pujols. And that makes it 11-6 here in the 6th.
Nanomachines.
What's up, duders? Appreciate the raid, my friend.
Different types which will replenish the supply
Rocket
of
League.
adrenaline,
Oh god,
nutrition,
shut
and
up,
sugar in the
famous.
bloodstream.
Not a word.
Now I don't have to worry about food.
I also put some nootropics in there.
Say what?
Nootropics. A class of drugs which will help improve your mental functioning.
It'll make me smarter, huh? Anything else?
Yes. Benzedrine. It's a type of stimulant. It'll keep you alert and responsive for 12 straight hours.
That was quite a cocktail. Anything else in there?
Those nanomachines will also keep your Codex batteries charged up.
I guess I can call you when I'm ready to go on a diet.
You're welcome.
I can't be bullied. And you're not throwing away, well, if you throw away the mayo, send it to Jugsy, famous. Oh man, imagine I get go to the next TwitchCon. Jugsy just will walk up, go for a hug, and just kick me right in the balls. You son of a bitch. Yeah, how do you get a sponsor? How are you a sponsor for mayo? That is so weird. When I saw that, I was like, of all things, like, be a sponsor of bananas. That's at least entertaining. Mayo? Ugh. Be a man of Madame. Nice, nice. Man, I was gonna say I wish I was better at Rocket League, but that would require that I play the game, and I know Famous is like, pretty sure, Smog, I watched you play through that. I watched you play through that, and I think I watched Clue play through that. And there's some other random person that I watched play through it. I can't do it because I'm too much of a... whatever. I'm too scared. You guys know. Alright. Last set of videos, and then we get in.
The chief of DARPA and the president of an arms manufacturing company. What business did they have at a nuclear weapons disposal facility?
The truth is that secret exercises were being conducted at the time the terrorist group attacked.
Must be extremely important exercises if those two were directly involved. Were they testing some kind of new advanced weapon?
I'm not privy to that information.
My life as a gamer,
Do we know
duders.
exactly where they're being
Average.
held?
The DARPA Chief has also been
Sometimes above, most of the time,
closer, you should be able to
slightly
pick up
below.
its location on your radar.
Nuclear weapons.
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuclear missile?
They say they do. They even gave us the serial number of the warhead they plan to use.
Was the number confirmed?
I'm afraid so. At the very least, they've got their hands on a real nuclear warhead.
Isn't there some kind of safety device to prevent this type of terrorism?
Yes. Every missile and warhead in our arsenal is equipped with a PAL, which uses a discrete detonation code.
PAL.
Permissive Action Link.
Now Roland with a chance to give the Cardinals a lead for the first time tonight. Which he does. Is it good?
If they have
Metal
a nuclear
Gear.
warhead, it must have been
Imagine if
removed
you could
from
zoom
the
in.
missile. All the missiles on these disposal sites are
Appreciate the
supposed to be
resub, Kenny.
dismantled. It's not that
46.
easy to get your hands on
Paul
an ICBM.
Goldsmith.
That used to be
The GOAT.
true. But since the end
Second
of the
best
Cold
first
War,
baseman
you
in
can get
Cardinal
anything
history.
If you have enough money and the right connections.
Yeah, second best. Third. Third? What do you guys think? Because I was like, obviously Pujols is number one. I mean, he's arguably the greatest Cardinal of all time. Stan fans will probably win. I'm not going to argue with those fans because Stan played his entire career with St. Louis. He didn't leave, so that still bug some Cardinal fans. As a Cardinal, just specifically as a Cardinal, would you rate Goldie above McGuire? That's why I pause. I feel like this is an easier answer in a couple of years if Goldie plays more. Like, I don't know how many more years Goldie plans on playing, and if he finishes as a Cardinal. I think if he finishes as a Cardinal, it makes it easy. But, man. It's an interesting one. Man, Pujols could have been a Yankee, but he's like, I don't want to play with trash. So, here we are. Excuse me. That felt good. Nothing like shitting on the Yankees. But let's all agree, it's not even about shitting on the Yankees right now. We all can equally enjoy shitting on the Mets, and that is great. That is great. Hey, the last time the Angels made the playoffs, guess who was a big part of that team? Also, the last real great year they got out of Albert, conveniently. Sorry, Mike.
How well armed are these terrorists? I know there was an exercise going on at the time they revolted.
They're heavily armed, I'm afraid.
What about their battle experience?
The 6 members of Foxhound in charge are all hardened veterans. They're tough enough to eat nails and ask for seconds.
I wouldn't expect anything less from Foxhound.
The others are next-generation special forces. They're not your average grunts either.
So now we're going to talk about those. Watching the Jets win is actually frustrating because they shouldn't be. It's like watching Pittsburgh win. I know they just played the Titans. Yes, I just watched the game, which is why I started stream later. I look at Pittsburgh and like, man, their offense is garbage. Kenny Pickett, like, it'll be different now that they have Johnson. Johnson will be a difference maker. But until Johnson came along, like, their offense is so bad. Kenny Pickett, like, people keep telling me he's the guy. Like, like, we must be watching other games. Clearly. Because I look at Kenny Pickett, I'm like, yeah. A win against the Browns, that was defense. The win against the Raiders was ugly. I mean, it's the Raiders. But that's probably their best, I'd say probably their best offensive game. The Ravens, they won that game because the Ravens literally just, every receiver, all game long, just right in the hands. Like, I hate that so much. Lamar was just putting it right on the hands, right on the numbers. He couldn't catch the damn ball. It's driving me nuts. Like, felt like you're playing a game of Madden where the game's like, you will not win. That's what it felt like watching the Ravens in that one. Yeah. And then they played the Packers next. I mean, the Steelers are probably going to make the playoffs. Look at the rest of their schedule. Got the Bengals twice. Well, it might be kind of tough. You got the Bengals twice, there's Seahawks and Ravens. Then you have whatever the Colts are, the Patriots, the Cardinals, Browns with whatever they have, and then you got the Packers up next. Oh, God. Packers up next, and they have a bye week, essentially. Because this is, they have actually like a week and a half until that game. Titans on short week. Good for them. And then, yeah. Alright. The terrorist demand.
So what exactly are they demanding?
your soul.
A person's remains.
Remains?
That's right. To be more accurate, cell specimens which contain the individual's genomic information.
Cell specimens? Why would they want that?
The terrorists need them. You see, these next-generation special forces have been strengthened through gene therapy.
Strengthened?
You've heard of the Human Genome Project. They've been mapping the human genome, and they're nearly finished. Following up on this research, the military has been working towards identifying those genes which are responsible for making effective soldiers.
There are genes that do that?
Yes. And using gene therapy, they're able to transplant those genes into regular soldiers.
Gene therapy?
I'll explain this part. With gene therapy, we can remove those genes which we know may lead to sickness or disease, and at the same time splice in genes with beneficial effects, such as resistance to cancer, for example.
In other words, we can overcome all sorts of genetic diseases, and at the same time add genetic characteristics as desired.
Okay. And so if you knew what genes were responsible for making the perfect soldier, you could implant them in the same way, right?
Correct.
Yes, we could.
But it all depends on being able to isolate and identify those soldier genes.
And in order to do that, it's helpful if you can study the genomic information of one of the greatest soldiers ever.
Anyone know who that is? Obviously, I do. But does anyone else know who that is? Before I go to the next one, it's not Snake. Well, I mean, if you want to be technical, it's not Snake. And I can agree with you guys on the Go Knights go. The Giants-Jets game, anyone that watched that game deserves to be paid. They need compensation for suffering. Just being honest.
One of the greatest soldiers ever?
The man they call the greatest warrior of the 20th century.
You don't mean Big Boss.
That's right. We've been working feverishly to identify the genes responsible for his incredible combat skill. So far, we've discovered about 60 of the so-called soldier genes.
So his body was recovered after all.
Yes, and his cells have remained frozen in a cryo chamber. His genomic information is a priceless treasure to mankind.
Priceless to the military, perhaps.
His body was burned severely, but it was possible to restore his DNA profile from just a single strand of his hair.
You people are amazing. And then you're gonna transplant those genes into soldiers?
Yes. We'll use a process that I discovered called gene targeting. The strongest soldiers don't become what they are by acquiring their skills through training or experience. We now know that hereditary factors are far more crucial for creating superior soldiers.
Snake, we can't give them his body. It's potentially more dangerous than all the nuclear warheads on that island put together.
I hear the terrorists are calling themselves the Sons of Big Boss.
The Sons of Big Boss?
I just thought that was wild at the time. Like, it's more dangerous than all of the nuclear. Like, you could destroy a country in like seconds. But
Tell me about these next-generation special forces.
They started out as an anti-terrorist special ops unit, made up of former members of biochem units.
there's 2 more
technical
videos
escort
left after
units,
this.
and a nuclear emergency
I
service
think
team.
Liquid gets his own.
Their purpose was to respond to
Can't
threats
remember.
involving next-generation weapons of mass destruction, including NBC weapons.
Until they were added, that is.
Who's they?
These guys didn't start out as regular army.
Looks like a pretty international group. Mercenaries?
Yeah, and it gets worse. Most of them were from a merc agency that I think you're familiar with. They were part of Big Boss's private guard. And after Big Boss went down, the military just bought out all their contracts.
Outer heaven.
After that, they were merged with our own VR unit, Force 21, and retrained. If you ask me, these so-called next-generation special forces should be called simulated soldiers. They have no real battle experience.
Video game players, huh?
Hey,
Don't
hey.
forget, they've all been strengthened with gene therapy. They carry genes which make them excellent soldiers. Don't get careless just because they don't have much experience.
I
Yeah.
thought using genetically modified soldiers was prohibited by international law.
Yes, but those are just declarations, not actual treaties.
The interesting thing is that nearly every member of the unit conspired in this attack.
It's crazy. Smog said that. I never really thought about it. Dude just sitting there butt ass naked on the bench and makes no mention of it at all the entire time.
How could an entire unit be subverted to rebellion?
They're calling it a revolution.
Since they all went through the same gene therapy, they probably felt closer than brothers. They see the unit as their only family.
The son's a big boss. But if they were regular army, they must have been interviewed periodically by army counselors.
According to their files, they all got straight A's on the psychological tests. They all seemed like fine, upstanding, patriotic soldiers.
But they all took part in the uprising?
No, several people didn't show up on the day of the exercise. That's why there was a resupply of troops.
Was there any sign recently that something might be wrong?
There was a report a month ago that they were acting strangely.
Apparently they consulted classified information about the soldier genes and performed their own gene therapy experiments.
They can do that even without you?
Well, our gene therapy process is almost completely automated. And besides that, they're all geniuses with IQs over 180.
Even the existence of this genome army is a national secret of the highest order. We've been hoping to investigate this thing quietly and deal with it behind closed doors.
Of course. Alright. Foxhound, and then I believe Snake or Liquid has his own, and then we're ready to roll.
Special Forces Unit Foxhound, your former unit, and one that
One
I was
the
the
commander of.
An elite group combining firepower and expertise. They're every bit as good as when I was commanding them.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mantis, with his powerful psychic abilities.
They go.
Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise.
Rip Decoy.
Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot.
My actual favorite guy in the series, Revolver.
And a formidable gunfighter.
Looks like a lovely bunch of folks. Too bad we'll be meeting under these circumstances.
And finally, in charge of them,
Yeah.
Foxhound Squad.
Take a close look.
Liquid Snake.
Solid.
Liquid Snake.
Take a close look.
And you're the only person who can stand against him.
To me, honestly, it depends. It really depends on how you feel. But I am a believer that Revolver is the true protagonist in this series. To make an argument, Solid is an antagonist.
Liquid Snake. The man with the same code name as you.
So it makes the series so
Tell me
fun.
what you know.
He fought in the Gulf War as a teenager, the youngest person in the SAS. His job was to track down and destroy mobile Scud missile launching platforms. You were there too, I believe. Didn't you infiltrate Western Iraq with a platoon of Green Berets?
I was just a kid myself back then.
The details are classified, but it seems that originally he penetrated the Middle East as a sleeper for the SIS.
He was a spy for the British Secret Intelligence Service?
David.
But he never once showed his face in Century
Vapor
House.
Snake.
He was taken prisoner in Iraq, and after that there was no trace of him for several years.
Better name than Solidus.
After you retired,
Like,
he was
really?
rescued and became a member of Foxhound.
I thought that by the time I left, they were no longer using code names.
Solidus was
I
pretty
don't
cool
know
though.
his real name. That information is so highly classified that even I can't look at it.
Yeah,
Here's
take a
photo of him.
take a look.
Pretty shocking, huh? His skin tone is different, but otherwise you two are exact duplicates.
I have a twin?
I don't know the details.
Oh, you know.
It seems so.
You know.
That's
Yep,
why
MGS
we really
won.
need you for this mission.
You're the only one who can beat him. Now that I've met you, I know. You've got something that he doesn't. I can see it in your eyes.
Why don't I find that thought more comforting?
Who is it, Famous? Do I need to request to work? Because I will. The Bears are... I'm not watching that shit. I am not watching. Yep, just watched all the briefings and gonna get rolling.
I need to borrow your scissors.
What are you going to do?
Don't worry, just gonna clean myself up a little.
Huh?
I don't want to be mistaken for the leader of the terrorists.
I have not played Metal Gear Solid in at least 6 years. I used to play this every time getting close to Christmas, but pretty much since the PS4 came out, I haven't played Metal Gear. I still have my PS3, I could hook it up. I can play, I still have my Vita, I can play on that, but I've been waiting for them to have it on a modern console for a while. Now we don't have to look at that. Let's just get into the game. Let's play on normal. Commencing mission. What's up, Marcus? So many memories, man. People say the graphics don't hold up. I don't even care. Between this and Final Fantasy VII, I don't even care. It's just you remember the nostalgia. If they remade this game, not Twin Snake style, but if they could remake this without modernizing it just graphically, I legit would probably cry. 2005. Ooh, that's a long time. I bet it felt good to boot it up though, didn't it? The snake.
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake?
Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up.
Just as I expected. You'll have to take the elevator to the surface. But make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
Got it.
Okay, I'm ready to go. Alright, I gotta stop doing that because I'll be doing that all game. Well, let's get the ration first. Who do I root for, Famous? Do I root for our new savior, the Mayo King himself? Or do I root for Baker, because I'm a Buck fan? Oh, I'm going to root for Tampa Bay. Good lord, I don't remember what to do. I haven't played this game in so long. Yes, I went to hit select. Force a habit.
There you can take up to the ground. You'll just have to wait for the elevator to come down. You
Appreciate the follow. Yeah, I'm a big Metal Gear fan. It's my favorite series by far. By far. It is not even close. I'm a massive Metal Gear fan. When I heard this was announced, I scared my nephew and my niece because I let out a sound that I probably can't replicate. I was so excited. Ah, shit, I messed up. I'm gonna get caught. Nope, got away with it. Hurry up and move, pal. We out. Idiot. Nice, Marcus. I hope you enjoy. I hope you see Sting, too. Well, clearly they're not going to blitz Levis, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Hopkins, though, is probably going to struggle if they put Carlton Davis on. Last time Carlton Davis played him across the field one-on-one. Ten seconds. Yeah, the Mayo King. Metal Gear Solid. Alright, welcome back. Man. Run out. Stop. And back to Kodak. Kodak.
It's Snake. I'm in front of the disposal facility.
Excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit.
How's that sneaking suit working out?
I'm nice and dry, but it's a little hard to move.
Bear with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you
Don't
know.
worry.
Take it easy, I'm grateful. If it weren't for your suit and your shot, I would have turned into a popsicle out there.
An anti-freezing peptide, Snake. All of the genome soldiers in this exercise are using it.
I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Already tested, huh? By the way, how's the diversionary operation going?
2 F-16s just took off from Galena and are headed your way. The terrorist radar should have already picked them up.
Swat down a couple of bothersome flies.
Behind D. Colonel, what's a Russian gunship doing here?
I have no idea.
Liar.
Looks like our little diversion got their attention. Now's your best chance to slip in unnoticed.
Yeah, whose footsteps are these? Yep. Alright. Liquid didn't say anything. Isn't he usually say something about slowing down? Huh? I'm not tripping, am I?
There are only 18 hours left until their deadline. You've got to hurry.
Wow, he must be crazy to fly a Hind in this kind of weather.
Who's that?
Oh, sorry. I haven't introduced you to yet.
Yeah, that
This
just
is
threw
May
me
Lee.
off.
She
Okay.
was assigned to us as our visual and data processing specialist. She designed your codec, as well as your Soliton radar system. Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Snake. It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology
To be so cute.
You're just flattering me.
No, I'm serious. Well, I know I won't be bored for the next 18 hours.
Come on. I can't believe I'm being hit on by the famous Solid Snake. But I'm surprised. You're very frank for a trained killer.
Looks like we both have a lot to learn about each other.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to learning about the man behind the legend. But first, let me explain about your solar tunnel.
Yeah, I didn't know. So that was news to me. Like, that tells you, even I haven't played the game in so long, that still was like, wait,
The
what?
red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision.
Be careful, Snake. The genome soldiers have highly developed senses of hearing and vision due to their gene therapy. Make sure you don't.
But they only can see in the cone.
First, I want you to infiltrate the disposal site and look for the DARPA Chief.
The DARPA Chief was injected with the same GPS transmitting nanomachines as you.
He should appear on your radar as a green dot.
Get whatever information you can from him about the terrorists. If he's alive, that is.
By the way, David, you'd be
Snake,
happy to
your
know my
radar
nephew
is
played Wonder
affected by the
today.
weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
Yes, it gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's all made from currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful.
We'll be monitoring your movements by radar, so contact us by codec anytime you want.
Got it. I'll call if I'm feeling lonely.
Seriously, Snake.
Seriously, Snake, we're here to back you up, so call if you need some information or advice.
I'm also in charge of your mission data. Contact me if you want me to record your current status. My frequency is 140.96. It's a dedicated frequency for saving data. Don't forget it.
Remember, except for your binoculars, you're naked. You need to arm yourself with whatever weapons you can find.
I remember. First, I'm strip searched by Dr. Naomi here, and then all my weapons are taken away. Imagine yourself put in that position.
Well, if you make it back in one piece, maybe I'll let you do a strip search on me.
I'll hold you to that,
I'll hold you to
doctor.
that, doctor. By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but I did manage to smuggle out my smokes.
How did you do that?
In my stomach. Thanks to the shot you gave me that suppressed my stomach acids.
Cigarettes? How are those going to help you?
You never know.
Cigarettes actually can help in this game. Infrared. Like I said, it's just so many little things.
There's the front door. It's the fastest way, but there's too much risk of being spotted by the enemy.
I can't just knock on the door and ask them to let me in. There's one sentry on the left and one on the right. They're armed with 5.56ers and pineapples.
What about the air duct near the door? There should also be a duct on the second floor.
I'm not sure yet if I am.
I can't see it from here.
Oh, it's up there. I always go on the top route.
I'll let you decide the best COA. I'm counting on you, Snake.
I won't make it far enough to do it tonight, because I'm going to finish it tomorrow. I think I'm going to beat Psycho Mantis tonight. That's the plan, at least. Yeah, I'm definitely rusty. Once I get the hang of it,
Whose footprints are these?
probably will speedrun this game. Which requires a lot. You know I had to do that at least once. Go away, please.
A surveillance camera?
I'm looking at.
Whose footprints are these?
Bitch. Wow. I'll be damned. It's the earliest I've ever been seen. Well, there goes the no alert run. Dang. I didn't think I'd get a no alert run, but I definitely didn't think I would get caught this fast.
Whose footprints are these?
I'll say that much. As long as I've been playing Metal Gear. As long as I've been playing Metal Gear. If anything, I'll get caught by the surveillance camera. If you know, you know. The surveillance camera, because there's like that little window of a surveillance camera, and you can get screwed. Because I've had that happen a couple times where... Turn around. Thank you. I've had that happen a couple times where I got caught by the surveillance camera. Because it's PS1. That little cone. Okay. Now we gotta deal with dude up here. See where he's at. Should be good. Nope. Just turned around. Yeah, go up top. I almost always go up top. I haven't watched a speed run in this game in a while. To be honest, I don't think I've ever really gone low. I think I've maybe gone low maybe a handful of times. I almost always go the top route. If he would have came, it would have made me jump if I would have been seen, because I know that he doesn't. Keep going. Thank you. Alright, we're good.
That base must have some kind of ventilation system to recirculate the air. There should be air ducts around there somewhere. They must need a lot of power to run the base. There's probably a diesel generator somewhere. And since generating electricity requires oxygen, there must be exhaust openings for that too. You're not gonna believe this, but they shot down the F-16s we were using as a diversion with a Hind D. Then we got a message from Liquid. He said if we try something like that again, he'll launch the nuke. Snake, hurry up and get in there. That Hind will be coming back soon.
I remember one time I played through and I tried to wait out as long as I could to see if it would come, but it doesn't. The thing you should try.
Snake, this
This is McDonald Miller.
It's been a long time.
Hey,
Master,
Miller.
what are you doing here?
I quit being a drill instructor, so I moved out here for some peace and quiet. I'm in retirement, just like you. Once in a while, I still help train the Alaskan Scouts.
Bet he
Passing
does.
on the skills to a new generation, huh?
Campbell told me about the situation here. I thought I might be of some use.
There's no one I'd rather have in a foxhole than you.
Well, I know lots about survival in a harsh environment. I've lived in Alaska longer than you, so call me if you have any questions
Yes.
about the flora or fauna out here. My frequency is 141.80.
Alright, Master Miller, welcome to the team. Happy to have you. I'm sure you'll be a great help. I will need to get a gun, though. That's the other thing about going low. If I go low, I'm pretty sure there's a gun in the back of that van. Again, I don't remember because I don't do it very often.
Cell in the first floor basement.
What about the vent shaft cleaning?
They just opened the vent covers. They're about to start spraying for rats.
First floor basement ventilation shaft.
Shut those covers as soon as they're done spraying. Also, keep your eye on that woman in the cell. Don't get careless now.
Woman in the cell? Did something happen?
There's an intruder.
Really?
He's already done 3 people.
He's
Huh?
killed 3 people?
Yeah. Say he's using stealth.
Oh.
Stealth. There's an intruder besides me?
Anyway, I want you to increase the security detail on the chief.
Another intruder. I wonder who it could be. There's a camera. There's that. Alright. Alright. And if I needed a ration, I can, like, it's weird because it's, you see it's right there, but if I kind of go like along the edge, I can pass it, but obviously I'm not going to be able to take it because I already have to. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to answer. I didn't answer. Normally I do. So we'll call.
Snake, you've got to think. Your mind is your most dangerous weapon. If things are getting too complicated, try to simplify your thoughts. You can also try calling Campbell for advice.
Press the action button to drop down.
It always makes me laugh hearing that. Like, it's such, like, you're all this communication, but then breaking the fourth wall by telling you to press buttons. It always makes me laugh. It's not a complaint, it's just the observation. Like, everything is so real except the fact that I'm pressing buttons.
Change floors. There should be a cargo elevator that you can take down somewhere around there. Try to find it.
Shout grenades! Heck yeah! There we go, our first gun. Lethal gun. He's downstairs, right? Should be downstairs. How cool would it be? Also, notice while I'm doing this that there are 2 tanks here. Just an observation. There's 2 tanks. Oops. Alright, let's go hit that elevator. You turn around, don't you? There we go. Snake, snake, snake.
Look at the radar. It's picking up the DARPA Chief. He's the green dot. Hurry and rescue him.
Knock, knock. Guess he doesn't care. Notice on all the walls, it changes the angle some, but when you're with the DARPA Chief, you can see through. So the little subtle things. What's up, Mr. Toxic?
Snake, if you want to go up or down a ladder, just press the action button by the ladder.
Alright. We shall. Back in the vents.
Oh, kinda damn cold. I hate Alaska. Boy, oh boy, that woman is built all right.
Didn't flush, didn't wash your hands. What a damn shame. Nasty ass soldier. Like some people at my job. Here I'm just blowing up the bathroom and then just come out the stall, flush, and then just go back to work. Like, well done. Mm-hmm.
Is that a woman? Not you.
Alright, story time.
Snake, the DARPA Chief's signal is coming from somewhere in that area. Isn't there some place to drop down? Take a look around in first-person view mode. Snake, the DARPA Chief's signal...
Yeah. You guys ready? Set the controller down. Get a little bit of a break.
Who's that? I'm here to save you. You're the DARPA Chief, Donald Anderson, right?
You here to save me, huh? What's your outfit?
Probably
I'm
not.
sent here to save your worthless butt.
Really? true. You don't look like one of them. In that case, hurry up and get me out of here.
Slow down. Don't worry. First, I want some information about the terrorists.
Look at that toilet paper.
Do they
Quality.
really have the ability to launch a nuke?
What are you talking about?
The terrorists are threatening the White House. They say if they don't accede to their demands, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
Sweet Jesus.
Is it possible?
It's possible. They could launch a nuke.
How do they plan to launch? I thought this place was just for keeping the dismantled warheads. They shouldn't have access to a missile.
What I'm about to tell you is classified information. Okay?
Definitely.
We're conducting exercises with a new type of experimental weapon. A weapon that will change the world.
What?
A weapon with the ability to launch a nuclear attack from any place on the face of the Earth. A nuclear-equipped walking battle tank.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. It can't be.
You knew? Metal Gear is one of the most secret black projects. How did you know that?
We've had a couple of run-ins in the past. So that's the reason you were here at this disposal site?
Why else would I come to a godforsaken place like this?
I had heard the Metal Gear project was scrapped.
On the contrary. It's grown into a huge joint project between ArmsTech and ourselves. We were going to use this exercise as raw data, and then proceed to mass production.
Could you imagine a mass production of Metal Gear Rexes? That'd be insane.
If it hadn't been for the revolution.
Revolution?
Rex has fallen into the hands of terrorists.
Rex?
Metal Gear Rex. The code name for the new Metal Gear prototype. They're probably already finished arming the warhead they plan to use with Rex. These guys are pros. They're all experienced in handling and equipping weapons.
Hey! Shut up in there, will ya?
What's up, Nikolai?
But I
And it
thought
goes
that
back
all
to talking.
nuclear warheads were equipped with safety measures. Some kind of detonation code that you have to input.
Oh, you mean PAL? Yes, of course. There is a PAL. It's set up so that you need to input 2 different passwords in order to launch the device.
There are 2 passwords?
Yes. Baker knows one, and I know one.
Baker? The president of ArmsTech?
That's right. Each of us needs to input our password, or there can be no launch. But they found out my password.
You talked?
Psycho Mantis can read people's minds. You can't resist.
Psycho Mantis?
One of the members of Foxhound. He has psychic powers.
This is bad.
It's just a matter of time before they get Baker's too.
If they find out Baker's password...
Yes, they'll be able to launch a nuke anytime. But there is a way to stop the launch.
What?
The card keys.
Card keys?
They were designed by ArmsTech, the system developers, as an emergency override. Even without the passwords, you can just insert the card keys and engage the safety lock.
And if I do that?
Yes. You can stop the launch.
That card key.
So where are the keys?
Baker should have them. Listen, you need 3 card keys. There are 3 different slots to put them in. You need to insert a card into each one of them.
Okay, 3 card keys. Do you know where they might be keeping Baker?
Somewhere in the 2nd floor basement.
2nd floor basement?
I heard the guards say they moved him to an area that has a lot of electronic jamming.
Any other clues?
Yes. They cemented over the entrances, but didn't have enough time to paint them. Why don't you look for the areas where the walls are a different color? Take this. It's my ID card. It'll open any level 1 security door. It's called a PAN card. It works together with your body's own
personal access network.
Personal area network, huh?
Area, okay.
It transmits data using the salts in your body as the transmission medium. As you approach the door's security devices, they'll read the data stored in the card.
And the doors will open automatically. Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
You haven't heard any other way to disarm the PAL, have you? From your bosses or anyone?
No.
Are you sure you haven't heard anything?
I just said no.
So does the White House plan to give in to the terrorists' demands?
That's their problem. It has nothing to do with my orders.
But what about the Pentagon?
Pentagon? What is it?
What's going on? Seems like you're in pain, buddy.
Dead.
Time for a chat. I hate it too, but it's still cool to see.
The Chief, what happened?
I don't know. It looked like a heart attack, but...
A heart attack? No.
Colonel, are you hiding something from me?
Don't
Absolutely
lie to
not.
me.
Snake, you've got to understand. This op is security level red. You need the highest security clearance to get access to the complete file.
You want me to believe that you're in charge of this op, but you don't have complete access to the file?
I told you. The Secretary of Defense is in operational control. I'm just here as your support. Snake, we don't have time to debate. Get out of there and find President Baker.
There's a ration under the bed. Go peek out. Don't move. Ass in there.
Don't move. So you killed the chief, you bastard.
I said don't move.
Liquid? No,
Oh.
you're not. Don't move.
Hands are shaking.
Is this the first time you ever pointed a gun at a person? Your hands are shaking. Can you shoot me, rookie?
Careful, I'm no rookie.
Liar. That nervous glance.
Didn't even take the
that scared
safety
look
off.
in your eyes. They're rookie's eyes if I ever saw them. You've never shot a person, am I right?
You talk too much.
You haven't even taken the safety off, rookie.
I told you I'm no rookie.
You're not one of them, are you?
Don't think, shoot.
Open that door. You've got a card, don't you?
Why?
So we can get the hell out of here.
Looks like we'll be a little delayed.
What are you doing? Don't think. Shoot!
Man, I'm so...
What are you waiting for? Shoot!
Almost died.
Me like a rookie.
Almost
I'm
died.
telling you, shoot!
Good Lord, Sam, shoot. Thank you. Meryl, shoot.
help.
Who are you?
That guy was just staring at her ass.
You fool! You've killed him! I'm sorry, sir.
His mental shielding was very strong. I could not dive into his mind.
And we'll never get that detonation code.
Boss, I have a good idea.
I didn't recognize this at the time either. I'm not going to say anything just yet. I'll wait. But if you're a vet of the game, you probably know what I'm talking about. Let me ask, who hasn't played Metal Gear Solid 1 here? Can I get a 1 in chat for anyone who hasn't played this game? Psycho Mantis.
Good girl. Just like that.
69. And a call.
Naomi, I just had some kind of hallucination. Is it from the nanomachines?
No, Snake. The nanomachines are functioning properly.
So what was it?
It must have been psychometric interference coming from Psycho Mantis, Foxhound's psychic. Think of it as a mental feedback loop.
Oh?
So that was Mantis.
I need details, Nikolai. I need details. So we're coming back in here. Okay. Let me stop. I used to do such...
Oh, yes.
I used to do so many stupid things playing this game because you can't help it. You just entertain yourself. Oh, man. It's re-released. MGS 1 is the original re-release, and then MGS 2 and 3 are the Blue Point remasters that they did like 7 years ago. I don't remember how long it was now. Hell, it might be 10 years ago. 'Cause I think what the Blue Point remasters came out, yeah, like 2012, 2013. It was a launch for the Vita, which, by the way, if you didn't know, if I can dig through my Vita collection, my most played games on the Vita: 1, DJ Max Technica Tune. Number 2, there was a weird frame of time where I literally played nothing else on my Vita other than Metal Gear. It was crazy. Maybe Lumens, maybe Wipeout, but Metal Gear is probably my second most played game. It was insane. Pixelated butt, yep. Pixelated cheeks. Nothing could be better, right? Did you flush? Looks kind of clean. I'm just very grateful that we have Snake. Oh yeah, I get you, Nikolai. Like, it was different because it was like, for a while for us as gamers, it was just nothing but aggression. Nothing but aggression. And then now you're just expected to, okay, we have to curb that, and we have to be practical. I still have my original Metal Gear Solid. I have the Essential Collection, the HD Collection, both. I have the Essentials Collection on the PS2, the HD Collection on the PS3. I have this on both the PS5, or both. I have it on the PS5, the Switch, and the Steam Deck. I am not messing around with Metal Gear. Like, I am super, super grateful that I am able to play this on a modern console. It was one of the big reasons why, when my PS3 went out, I had to get another PS3. I still need to be able to play Metal Gear. Who died here? I know I'm not the only one that died here, right? First time I played it, I died because I heard the sound and it made me stop. Alright. I was waiting for the ad to end. So they are doing a full-on from the bottom up remaster of Metal Gear Solid 3. Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta. So they're doing that. The question is, will they do any of the other ones too? But they're doing it. There is no release date. There's no release window for it yet. But it is something that is in progress. My question is, if they do Metal Gear Solid 1, it's a two-part question. Bitch. If you do Metal Gear Solid 1, I couldn't remember what was over there.